Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? This is gonna be my first video in a while, probably the first video on the channel. I am playing on the computer, so I don't have any world set up. I usually play on the Xbox. My evidence is right here, right? I've got plenty of achievements. Ooh, it tells me the time. Oh, I guess it's only on computer. There's no way I only have 130 hours. I don't know why it says my name is Steve. On YouTube, you'll probably know me as probably Yomotoman, but there's potential for Rorden or Yerafine. I don't remember which one I have set up. Most likely Yomotoman. But if I ever upload a video from my Xbox, my username will most likely be Rorden, because it's what I've been using nowadays. I don't know why it says Steve. I am indeed playing on Windows Television Minecraft, and I would just like to show you guys my realm for a bit before I begin looking for another world, because I've been facing a sad reality lately, and that is that none of my friends want to play the game. This is not very vibrant on my part. Oh well. Well, I'll probably need to switch to controller. But, this whole island is, you might have already noticed, it's artificial. I made the whole thing. I made the core through lava casting, and then I put a bunch of dirt on it. And so if you go into here, it's all stone, right? And I just got a big old perimeter around the whole thing. I've just been working away and working away and working away. And I haven't really thought about the fact that I have a realm, but my friends don't really play with me on it anymore. And honestly, it breaks my heart. That's quite loud. I'm gonna have to turn that down. Everything is quite loud. That's probably just my headphones, though. I have them max volume. Let's see. There we go. This is probably alright, right? I don't know any of this other stuff. It's just kind of spontaneous, but we, and if you look up there in the top left, we're quite a bit of ways away from spawn. The reason for that is because of one particular player, and she wanted to live in a spruce biome when exploring. A friend of this player lives up there, and she wanted to live near her friend and also requested that I live near her. And so I ended up in the biome I like the least. Not to say it's a bad biome, it's got many good qualities. The fox is my favorite mob in the game. But, like, genuinely, but I don't know, it's just, no one's been on, man. The first friend who wanted the spruce biome hasn't been on in, I want to say, aw, shucks. The first friend hasn't been on in, I want to say, months. And my friend that we both share that asked me to live near her, that lives in this house, hasn't been on in over a month as well. The last thing she did was build that slide, albeit I am pretty sure incorrectly. Oh, my. I forgot. It's been a little while since I played mouse and keyboard. I might switch to controller. But like, there was a bunch of cool things, right? They did some cool things, I'll admit it. But we hardly played, honestly. Like, everything's just incomplete. And it really does break my heart. Because one of my biggest dreams, whenever I was a child, was to have a Minecraft server. And it was nice for a while, don't get me wrong. But, there you go, buddy. It was nice for a while, don't get me wrong. And those buildings over there are certainly impressive. But I don't know. It makes me sad that no one's been on in a while. This dream of mine was fleeting. I took all the dirt out of this island. There's a pond over there, which is why there's still a wall there. I took all the dirt out on that island, and there's like one way over there on the other side to get all the dirt I needed to put onto my lava casted mountain. And like, I don't know. There's quite a bit of history here. I'm not ready to let it go quite yet. But for reference, the two friends that were over yonder were can't technically say girlfriends, so let's say female friends, right? They were women, and then I have one male friend, my fucking dude bro. Spent a total of a fucking hour and a half on the server. Spent most of the time getting him to these coordinates, but he stole a diamond from my sister. And that's just no more. He never, we're still friends, right? Like that's not over. But he hasn't come back, and he's probably not going to come back for a while because he has his own world and he lives with a bunch of folks who want to play with him. One of my sisters, the younger of the two, used to store all of her stuff in the chest right here. And I think there's one like in the ground right here. She had two. She and I are still on good terms. The reason why I said it like that, Jesus, I just messed that up horribly. Whatever. The reason I said it like that is because my other sister and I say other, I have 4 sisters, but the two older ones, right? My oldest sister that's younger than me have had a falling out of sorts, right? And I don't know. And there's something wrong with the picture settings on this TV. I'm probably gonna end up getting another monitor. But those are quite expensive. I don't know, man. I'm probably gonna start doing these videos unedited for a while, because I don't want Filmora. I don't want to pay for Filmora just yet, and honestly, this is just, I want it to be a documentation that this was here. I put in effort. I know I struggle with myself sometimes, and I think I've been feeling insecure. But the sister I had a falling out with, this was her old house. And I didn't empty it out, right? She left this far before we had a falling out. This has fucking been abandoned for weeks. We had a falling out a few days ago. And well, a few days ago doesn't make it seem shallow and recent. It's been a long time coming. I don't know. I just feel like I don't even know why anymore, man. I've been going through a few things in life, and I'm definitely gonna post other videos because I want to talk about all this shit. But I put in like 100 hours at least into building this island. You know, I'm still on iron armor. I'm still on all this kind of basic stuff, but it's all because I've been spending time dedicating myself to building and trying to make an impressive monument, you know, all for fucking, I'll be honest, gratification of others. I want to impress others, you know. It's I'll admit I got a fragile ego. I definitely got it from my father. But I wanted to build this up. I wanted it to be like a whole thing that would lead up into the mountain, which is why this area clearly has far less care put into it. Is because like I was gonna build a hill over it, and I was gonna have like this kind of be like cliff face, and so it goes steeply up because I haven't really done cliffs on this island yet. And I don't know, man. I've been putting in, excuse me, a lot of time and a lot of effort, and it's all for others, and I feel admittedly unappreciated, you know? Like, oh, this is kind of running low, but all this, you know, running through here into this just to make some stones so I can go over there and freaking place some more stone so that I can continue the grind of building onto it and building more and more and more. And it's not like I've burnt out. Like, I still love Minecraft. I'd love to play some more. I'm playing it right now. But I've put in all this effort and all this work. Right? I mean, look over here. I have an army of foxes. I dug out the entire area of inside here because I realized that, like, about 1 in every 4 blocks is an air block inside of the mountain because it's lava cast. Which means that, this thing is perceiving the mountain to be far bigger than what it really is because it doesn't. So say this is solid, right? This is inside of a wall. The game only doesn't render these blocks. Or rather, it wouldn't render this block. It would render the face of this block, and then you have the other side of the wall. And whenever you begin mining it, all of a sudden it's rendering that block because Minecraft players can only really mine 1 block at a time. Even with Instamine. And so it's crap, lost track of myself. But it's very easy to render it. If I remember correctly, it's like voxels or something. And so I realized that this game is rendering it far bigger than it should be. And so in order to get rid of all the hollow air spaces, because air also isn't rendered, it's just the faces of the blocks, you have a giant empty cavern. Yes, it's going to be rendering more than a giant solid mountain, but it's still less than what was before. And so I began mining this area out, and at the start that was the vast majority of me putting the stone in to that furnace, the cobblestone into that furnace. And I realized that I wanted to get other resources too, of course. And so I ended up switching over to a quarry nearby. And it's just, I don't know, man. I put in so much work, man. I built a fucking mountain that is 60, no, not 60, 40 blocks tall, right? Water level, sea level is at 62, and this motherfucker goes up to 108. And so that means that fucking it's 46 blocks tall. I'm putting in a lot of effort. There's a lot of fucking dirt, dude. I did that by hand, and sure, it's kind of ugly. It sticks out too far outwards, but I think it's alright. And this one is definitely ugly. It's way too off, but I like it. And you can even see, I did the bit that's raised up before I did the actual fucking bit that you can swim up shore. And so I tried to center a bit more by making that bit thicker. It didn't work, of course. It only makes it stand out, but I don't know, man. Nice. I've done all this work. I put in the work. I put in the hours. I'm sure. Is it like some of these Minecraft YouTubers that Green will just build a fucking base that's as big as this mountain and then fucking do it within the span of an episode and say, that's all for episode 6, guys. Tune in for episode 7 whenever I make a fucking 8-mile long quarry. I get that. Sorry, shouldn't have looked up. I bumped my mouse. I get that's not that impressive on that scale. But this is a hobby, man. I'm doing this for my friends. And one person, I'm not even like, she and I have a complicated relationship, but it was fucked. I don't know, man. This was my last fucking salvation before moving to the fucking Midwest, dude. I used to live in Arizona. A friend in Texas, friend in California. I was kind of just sandwiched in between, perfectly happy. I was with my dad's side of the family, of whom I know far more than my mom's, but my mom also lived there, so I wasn't missing anyone. I was in contact with all my siblings, saw them regularly, and I have 3 siblings that have yet to enter school. And they're all on my mom's side. My dad has not had any children recently. And so I thought it would be nice to help raise them. I had this uncle when I was younger, and I wanted to be like him. I idolized him, and sure, he did go crazy at one point, but I more so blame that on the person he chose to marry. Because they're both manipulative as fuck. And I'm not saying that he is manipulative towards me. I just mean, like, in their relationships. My mom talks about it sometimes, like, match made in hell, you might call it. Perfectly suited for each other, all the same, apparently. But, like, you know, like, when you're a kid, you're not allowed to drink soda, you're not allowed to stay up late. And so he's that one uncle who I visit. Dude, I was playing a Call of Duty on his PlayStation 2. I can't do PvP for shit. And so I would go ahead and play it, the campaign. And I'd stay up until 5 or 6 or 7 in the morning playing it. He doesn't care. He's like, hey, bro, I'm going to go upstairs and take a nap now. He's fucking drinking beer, which at the time, as a kid, you're like, dude, that's like the adult version of soda, you know? Just fucking chilled, laid back, super happy guy. He was a car guy, and as I'm into cars now, it makes far more sense, but I wasn't into cars then. And so, just really the perfect uncle, and I wanted to be that for them. I wanted to be that person they could idolize and admire. No, whatever. And I recently realized that was a mistake. I watched my dad break down and cry in front of me as I left him to be with my mom to try to help raise some kids. I left my baby sister right after she had been abandoned by her other sister. because she was on my dad's side. Um, she's technically my half sister, but goddamn, she's more of a sister than me than my fucking full blood related one. You know, I'm gonna show you where I fucking mine the quarry. That way, at least I have some something to do, you know. But I don't know, man. She and we still get along. Ori and I. Probably shouldn't have said her name, but whatever. Like, I am living with the person who fucking damned my father. He called him an alcoholic and his claimed that he was abusive towards her and the such, and I was there for all of it. He wasn't. She says he was abusive. Realistically, the worst he ever did was stop from going to hang out with her friends whenever she wanted to hang out with her friends because he wanted to spend time with her himself. She claims he's alcoholic because whenever he'd get buzzed, he'd go to cuddle her. He'd go to cuddle her because she liked it in the past, and one day a fucking switch flipped, and then she's like, no, that was assault. And it's just like, you were smiling. You were laughing many of the times that he had done it with you. He just wanted to be closer with his daughter, and he gets treated like this. Like, she forsook my dad. She calls him by his name. She calls my mom mother. Disrespectfully, like. It breaks my heart. She has little to no disregard for, like, she doesn't do chores. She doesn't help out around the house. And I chose to live with that person along with my other two siblings instead of being with my dad, who's now been abandoned by two of his kids. And I left him, man. But, yeah, I wanted to show this because I have all these floating birch trees. I'm going to get a birch farm and I'll make them taller so that I can make this go below one level. I kind of like the idea of having super tall birch trees float above the water. And so these aren't for naught. I'm not being evil. The other one was evil. I'll burn that one down. But this one I have a plan. But this was all dirt. Right? I mined all this back. But ravine down there. But I mined all this back to get more dirt. Is all in the name of dirt. And obviously I haven't completely emptied it of dirt, but it's damn near close. All for the island. But I don't know, man. Like, my other sister, I just had an altercation with her the other day. And I'll admit I went too far. And it's definitely because of a bias, right? She is, for lack of a better word, the black sheep of the family, but she definitely earned that place. She has been shown just as much love as has been shown to me, if not more, because they're still trying to get her on the right track, to get her to stop smoking, and especially around the kids, and like to get her to be responsible. And she just treats them like shit. She'll just use the oven and put things in it that'll make it smell like shit, and we'll never clean it, even if we ask her to. And like, just does the same thing with the microwave, and she'll just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I definitely had a bias, and I can't believe I'm about to admit this, but I saw her going after my brother, and I'm going to keep it vague, but whenever I say going after, she's just chasing after him to lock him in his room. And my family doesn't really support that, and I was under, and due to circumstances, my stepdad is like a policy of just like, hey, if the kids want to see him, just let them see him. Otherwise, they're gonna throw a fit. They're gonna freak out, right? The fucking yeah, 5, 4, and 2 respectively. And so, if they don't get their way, they're just gonna lose their shit. They're a little bit spoiled too, but that's fine. Oh yeah, the quarry is back there. I don't know where I'm going anymore. I'm just exploring because I'm going on a rant. But so she was like threatening to lock him in his room just because he wanted to see his father. And granted, his father's using the bathroom, but I just felt it was too far, and I confronted her about it, and it led to an altercation whenever I pushed her. And I guess she felt as though she was in so much danger that she pulled a knife on me. And not like she had it in her pocket. She ran, we were in the kitchen, and so it was on the side of, it was on the counter. And we got this like little container for it. They all stick in. I'm sure it's not technically a container because it doesn't have a lid, but I'm sure you guys know what I mean. And she threatened me with it, and at that point, I was like, I definitely took this too far. I shouldn't have confronted her in the first place. It's just the fucking getting locked in the room. The second he was done taking a shit, he would have let James out anyways. But like, I was definitely being overprotective of James, I guess, and trying to act in place of our stepfather. And I was definitely wrong there, and I do admit that. But at the same time, she's trying to hurt my little brother, man. My little baby fucking brother is fucking 5 who just wanted to see his dad. Admittedly because she was pissing him off. And just being unreasonable. It's like fucking, just like him telling, he was telling her that he was hungry, if I remember correctly, and she's just like, no, I'm not gonna feed you. Dad's gonna feed you. So like, okay, I'll go to Dad's. Like, no, I'm not gonna, all that shit, and it carried out accordingly, and it's just like, I definitely fucked up there. I shouldn't have pushed her. Luckily, while it does file as like assault and battery, she did push me first, and so, you know, call the cops on me. I might fucking, no, because she had a bigger reaction though, right? I'm bigger than her. I'm a fucking dude. She's, well, a woman, you know, and so she pushes me. It was like a couple inches. Admittedly, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, alright, fine. And fucking hyper aggressive, fucking masculine, ego shattering bullshit. As in, like, my ego shattered, like, she's gonna fucking push me? And, you know, and all of a sudden insecure, or whatever the fuck. And it's just like, okay, fuck you. Fucking, first you go after my little brother, and then you attack me? Fuck you. And then I pushed her. And like I said before, it's been a long time coming. Such a long time coming. And so I decided that it was unhealthy. I've known for a while it's unhealthy to... It was unhealthy to stay anywhere near her. My dad did try to reconnect with her. She left in the middle of the night because he's cuddling her, right? And whenever I say cuddling her, like, she was asleep in bed, and... No, she wasn't asleep yet. Yeah, she was still up. And so he, was just trying to give her affection, you know, hugging and tickling her, like normal parent shit, I promise. Because he got a little bit, buzzed, and he wanted to show affection, because that's just how he is. Whenever he gets, alcohol, that's what it does to him. And honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, my dad confided in her. Like, how can you turn on your dad like that? And then I did. And I will. I fucking vow one day I will make it back to Arizona. Because that's the biggest regret I've ever made in my entire life. Is leaving him. And my baby sister, Oriana, who had nothing to do with any of this. And she also got left by Aurora. Well, Aurora being the one who left. If context clues weren't enough. She left and abandoned her other baby sister. And I get that she has problems, but she's also been going to therapy for fucking years. She's gone through like 3 or 4 therapists as far as I know. Probably more because I've been paying the most attention. I've been having my own life too. But nice. I haven't seen that before. It's kind of cool too. But I don't know, man. She has gone to therapy before. It's not like we haven't tried. We've treated her nice. Fucking, I've been asked before to not intervene with her too harshly or anything, because it was a work in progress to get her to open up and to get her mentally better, to healthier, you know. But she's just a hot mess, man. I'm tired of trying. My fucking whole life is in shambles. I'm in fucking Iowa with... If I don't fucking pass the SATs in the next few weeks, with no future then, let alone fucking any kind of... Like, that's basically all I got. I'm trying to learn to become a mechanic because I vowed that because I vowed that I wouldn't go back to Arizona empty-handed. I wouldn't run back to my dad empty-handed. I want to come back to my dad, and I want to have something to show for myself. Alright, this is a little bit laggy, I don't want to fuck with that. But yeah. I'm just in a little bit of a depressed rut right now. I think it doesn't help that I essentially have 2 friends. Sure, I let a friend of a friend join the server, but she's more of an acquaintance to me because, I don't know, I just don't know her, you know. She just wanted to fucking be able to build a friend, and who would I be to say no? This is a really pretty flower biome. I don't know, man. One of my childhood dreams has been at least partially crushed. And it can certainly recover. It most certainly can, right? There's still a little bit of interest in playing on the server. It's just a little bit of downtime right now. Okay. Alright, I can do this. It's been so while since I've played mouse and keyboard, so I'm really bad at the game. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. This childhood dream is completely dead, right? Fucking... My other sister is open to playing again. She just doesn't really find an interest in playing that much, and I'm gonna be honest, we got a bad roll in the road. The spawn is super interesting. The spawn has a jungle and a mesa and a desert biome on top. Excuse me. And so it's certainly interesting. But we left that fucking 2,000 blocks away from spawn on one axis, 750 blocks away on another axis. And that is the center of the mountain that I made. It's this way. I'm gonna start heading back. But I don't know, man. With one childhood dream down, I decided, you know what? Why not do another? You know? I understand that the odds of this ever becoming a real thing is like winning the lottery. If not lower. And it also requires effort and all sorts of other things, and this certainly isn't a high effort video, it's more so a relief. I just want to do something I love. Because I got threatened to be kicked out of the house if I so much as laid my hands on my sister again. Which, you know what, that's an appropriate response, admittedly. But I need to find some peace to myself right now. And this constant high stress environment, I don't know, man, I can't cope with it. Call me a fucking snowflake if you want. It's been mathematically proven that we get paid less than fucking, the average income is less than the average medieval Europe peasant. You know, it's actual insanity. And it's just silly. It just really is. And I don't know, man. I would love to be able to record on my Xbox. And I could theoretically do it separately. I'd have to piece the audio from my microphone and whatever I'd piece off of my Xbox in 1 hour bits and segments. Because the Xbox only, if you put a fucking USB into it, any kind of storage device, right? It could be a solid state drive done through USB. It can record up to an hour. It caps out at an hour. It won't record for an hour on its own drive. It'll like max out at 8 minutes or something. But I thought it was rather cool. Is it over here? No, it's over here. All right. But I don't know. I'm just looking for something new, and I recently found one of Jay Schlatt's channels. I forgot which one it was called, but if you look on Jay Schlatt Live, it's in the channel section. There's one of them. It was like the Daily Slap, I think is what it's called, or weekly. It was the Weekly Slap. And it's not actually uploaded weekly, but Jay Schlatt gets really heart to heart in some of those videos, and it's just about the only channel he uploads consistently. Or not consistently, but has kept consistent and like done proper, right? The fucking guy has like 10 or 11 different channels and doesn't do any of them consistently. Nothing against him, because he's still fucking great at it. But who knows, maybe I can play some Forza. That'd be great. I just wanted to vent somewhere. I don't know how long this has been going on for. I guess 39 minutes. Viewer retention drops beyond that, if I remember correctly, so I should probably end it soon. I'll get back home first then. This one won't be edited. The next few won't be edited. I'm gonna be honest, I want to do this shit a bunch. Not because I want a backlog, but because I'm saying viewer retention as if I'm gonna have fucking viewers, dude. I don't know, I just thought it'd be something to keep in mind. I don't know, man. I thought this idea was cool. I thought it was so fucking cool. I have a fucking island, like a fucking supervillain island. There's almost a volcano at the top. I could definitely put some like obsidian or deep slate up top and have a lava path running down, and it looks like a fucking supervillain island, you know? And then like I put the fucking sakura trees and I have the foxes, and I was like, dude, this is aesthetic as fuck. I thought it was beautiful, dude. There's like a fucking 150 foxes in there, you know? But, alas, no one cares. And it's not that they don't care, but I think it's because I put too much in while no one else does. Damn. Doesn't qualify as a thunderstorm. And it's because I put in hours and hours and hours. I've been on almost every day, and they haven't because they have other things to do. They have other friends. I've got 2 friends. I've got the one in Texas and one in California, and I went up to fucking Iowa. I'm the exact same distance away from my friend in Texas in Iowa as I was in Arizona. I'm technically 50 miles closer, but that's really nothing. And I don't know, man. I thought it was cool. I really thought this was all cool. I was so excited. I was so happy to build it. You know? But here I am. Sad and alone. I haven't even fucking... I don't know, man. I'll start talking about my loneliness in the next video, I think. I hope you all have a great day. I was happy to at least be able to share some of what I have been dealing with lately. The next episode will have a different topic, but I think I might, if this doesn't prove as like an effective coping method, there's probably going to be a few repeated themes. But I've explained this stuff to myself in the mirror hundreds of times. I'm just repeating it over and over and over again. Just over and over and over and over. Fucking, I've talked about my frustrations with my sister Aurora so many times. My loneliness of being a piece of shit state so many times, and I feel like it just hasn't gone anywhere, right? It just, no one hears it, no one listens to it, it's just gone. And I don't know, man. I hope you have a good day. I genuinely do. I might not be the best person. I mean, shit, I had a willingness to hurt my sister in order to have her not hurt my brother. I fucking posted that shit on Am I the Asshole and got told I was, so I definitely am. I don't know, man. Have a good day. I don't know you, but I love you. That's actually a fucking horrible saying. I'll find something.